Our show is a special episode television broadcast, and we will compare the past England to the present Korea society. Today is the first day of the show. The first subject that we handle is female. First of all, in one volume, we will talk about the image of women in the past England, and in volume 2, the image of women in present Korea society.
Hello, I'm Chisugi. Today I'll introduce Edmund Spenser, who wrote The Fairy Queen, the Renaissance work. Let's begin. Edmund Spenser was a poet in the period of Renaissance, the Humanism and the Protestant society. This work is composed of 6 volumes, and each of them has a subject such as holiness, temperance, chastity, friendship, justice, and courtesy. We will handle just one volume today. The first volume is a story about a journey that the Red Cross Knight and a maiden undergo to rescue maiden's parents. So, in The Fairy Queen, Book 1, Canto 1, wrote in the Renaissance period, women are depicted to obedience and passive being. I'll explain you with the contents. When the Red Cross Knight tried to go in the dangerous grove, the maiden Una kept the knight from going in. She functions as a holy truth that grants grace to the knight who fight against evil, but she did nothing special. She just gave cheering message to the knight. Especially in the part 27, Una watched the battle from afar until the battle ended with the knight's win. And after that, Una came close to the knight and congratulated for win. From these scenes, we can find that women played limited roles that have obedience and passive image. That is, women's role is limited to men's assistant. And in this work, Gloriana, the fairy queen, represents Queen Elizabeth because the queen who led the England's glorious days was single. The value of innocence was praised more and more. Spenser raises some questions about ruling ability as a woman. In here, we can find that 17th century people took women's limit for granted.
Hi, my name is Ye Jin. Not only Fairy Queen, but also Ben Jonson's On My First Daughter is work that related to innocence. Let me introduce the work contents briefly. The poem was written when Johnson lost his first daughter, Mary, and he comforted himself through this poem. What we have to concentrate on is innocence. In this phrase, innocence can be interpreted to virginity of women, not purity of kids. I think we can learn how important innocence is at the time through mentioning innocence to just a little girl who died 6 months later after she was born. Like this, the innocence was an obligation which was attached for a woman by force. What makes innocence so important? To understand this, we have to go back 4th century. St. Augustine saw every flesh-eating Haitian as an essentially bad thing. So he worshipped celibacy and focused on abstinence and chastity. Finally, the Virgin Mary emerged. Mary, who keeps virginity and purity, could become an ideal woman for clerics. After that, women who had an opposite image with Mary were regarded as witches and suffered from witch hunting. In the 17th century, witch hunting flourished. For example, most of the women who were branded as witch were widows that had high possibility to inherit her husband's estates. The Virgin Mary and Ben Jonson's daughter Mary had the same name. Ben and his wife get comfort from his daughter joining in Mary's virgin train. In this short poem, we can learn the point of view from 17th century's women and the most important virtue of the day. Thank you for listening.
Till now, we talk about the image of women in the past English literature with Jisoo Kim and Yejin Lee. How was it? Was it good? Now, we learn for our study too fast. For the break time, let's see some advertisements.
야, 단어 안 신어? 다른 사람도 신경 쓰이잖아. 대답 안 해?
네.
예이.
Now we will start volume 2. The advertisement presented before the opening are related to subject. The subject is woman's image in modern Korea pop culture. Pop culture means culture that is consumed by the public through mass media. When you see a woman in mass media,
How is she portrayed?
Oh, I think sexy girl is the best.
They are pure, emotional, and fragile.
No, they are confident and competent.
well, that's right, you guys already knew well. I selected some typical image of woman shown in pop culture. More specifically, in terms of character, there are submissive and passive images, or independent and active images. And in terms of appearance, there are beautiful, thin and pure images, or sexy images. Actually, because of the image of woman presented in pop culture are consumed by the public, they have commercial values. In the other words, they are images that public want and fascinated by. Is the introduction too boring and so bored? From now on, we're going to deal with how the image of women are presented in the mass media. Sunchil University student investigated about this subject. Let me introduce them.
Hello, my name is Yeon Seo. I analyzed two female characters, Ji Young-gun and Sun Mi-kim, who appeared in the JTBC drama. Ji Young-gun is a full-time housewife coupled with a traditional female role. However, in the later half, it is revealed that she is pregnant to another man before her wedding. So her family disregards and ignores her. Through such character, we can see that people still want passive women compliant with the patriarchal order and the chastity. Sun Mi-kim is a girl mess. Unlike the past Renaissance women who are dependent on men completely, she is active and resolves her difficulties independently. Also, unlike the image of women in 17th century that trust the innocence, she is open about relationship with the another sex. In addition, I would like to mention another woman who has a similar image. She is Young An, who appears in the drama Missing. She is also independent and competent. However, through the reactions of male managers to the competent her, we can realize that men regard women who are competent and have high social status negatively. Even though the awareness of gender equality is improving and more women are entering the workforce, a conservative and limitative vision of women still remains. Furthermore, in most drama, a woman is frequently helped by a man to escape a crisis, which suggests that women are fragile and passive.
Hello, I'm Chen Park. I investigated image of women presented in K-pop music. One of the images shows lovely and sweet, or sexy and hot. Most women idol group begin with a lovely concept and end with a sexy concept. Please look at the example of a K-pop song. The name is Miss Korea songs by Lee Hyo-ri.
Because I'm a Miss Korea 세상에서 제일 가는 거리야.
She emphasized that inner beauty is more important than external beauty. Let's look at these lines. It means that she doesn't want to live anymore relying on external beauty and criticize the social condition that pursue appearance and such external beauty. And she tells us you are very beautiful regardless of your appearance. So be confident and cherish yourself. Ironically, seeing the music video, Hyo-ri looks so pretty and has a hot body. So I feel a detachment between her appearance and her message. I feel the limitation that still in our society, woman's image cannot be viewed without physical appearance. If an ordinary and common woman had been seen in the music video, the subject could have been communicated more effectively.
So far, we talked about the image of women presented in English literature and modern Korean society. And finally, we would compare and analyze them. Would you sit at the table together?
In modern society, the image of a woman is a commodity which is commercialized, especially in sex for profit. But in English literature, woman's beauty is idealized.
In terms of women's socio-economical status, in the past English society, women are suppressed by a witch hunt. so that they are prohibited from having a higher position than men. But in modern Korean society, women who try to occupy a high position are estimated positively. While in the past English society, the submissive and passive women are emphasized, in the modern Korean society, the independent and active women are accentuated.
Also, in the past, the innocence of women are showed, but in the modern, the women who talk about sex frankly are suggested. Lastly, there are differences in the external beauty of a woman clearly.
How do you feel after participating in our one-man, three-woman show?
Through the English literature, I learned that the women's image of that time are submissiveness and innocence. But I learned too that the women who were far from that image were suppressed by such as witch hunt.
Right. So I think that women might be compared into the images presented in the literature. Likewise, in the modern, nobody compares us to follow the images of mass media. The images have an effect on us, exposed to mass media very frequently. In conclusion, modern women might become passive beings.
And now, as many stimulating advertisements and movies that utilize sexual images of women are released, so I would like to deal with later how they will influence on the image and awareness of women.
Okay, thank you for watching our show and see you next time. Bye!
Bye bye.
Bye.